Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be on planet Earth. My name is Randy Schrader. It is my great pleasure to be here with you today. And my goal and objective over the course of the next just few minutes, I'm going to be very brief in my discussion of what the opportunity is, because I do have a few updates that I'm going to repeat from what Blake delivered last week. I'm not speaking, of course, as a corporate representative, but going to be a combination, kind of a quasi-business presentation this morning, and also give you some updates. Welcome to LEV AI. That stands for Leveraging Artificial Intelligence. That is the name of the company. The concept is to bring artificial intelligence in an accessible way to the masses of planet Earth. And you will discover as we go through this conversation, and notice I said conversation. I wish I could be with you face to face. I wish we could be having a conversation as opposed to me making a presentation, but we're not together, so we'll do our best. But if we were having a conversation right now, I would talk about the possibility of getting involved at the absolute genesis of a business and yet not having the risks that are part and a parcel of that. You'll understand how and why that is so as we go through this conversation. You come to know and understand who is behind it all, who is the money, who is the wisdom, where does it start? I'd like to reflect before we go further on this simple thought. I remember back in 1982 or 1983, I had a friend named Andy Kay. Andy was the founder of a company called K-Pro Computers that was started at the very same time almost as the Apple computer. And they were both laying a foundation that others would build upon for years to come. And I remember that day, Andy said, Randy, as I looked at that very first desktop computer, he said, Randy, the day will come when every desk in the world has one of these on it. He could see the future. I could not. A couple of years later, I remember the very first time I used a dial-up modem for the internet, and I could not begin to imagine that just as computerization had been thrust upon society, in hindsight, I can see I wasn't given a choice, and neither were you. It was we must adopt or be left behind. A couple of years later, similarly, I didn't have the vision. I couldn't see the future. And so I used the internet, but I could not begin to imagine that it would be thrust upon the entire world. And I didn't do anything to monetize that reality. This is your opportunity. This is our opportunity. This is the future in our hands to bring accessible artificial intelligence to all of planet Earth. I'm especially happy that my son Blake has been named the president of the company. A little bit later in this conversation, we will get to the owner of the business and who provides the financial resources and so on to give us confidence that though a startup, we don't have the risks a part of that. Blake is a extraordinarily efficient operator. He is an attorney. He has grown large businesses on a global scale, has had a couple of successful exits already in his career, recently concluded his most recent non-compete agreement, making himself eligible to guide this company into the future. I'm thrilled to have Blake in that capacity. When I started talking with people about artificial intelligence, you see, I'm smiling because what I found out, what I realized was that I was entering a conversation that was ongoing. I was not provoking that conversation. And then I heard things like this. I heard Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, saying things like AI is going to be more profound than fire or electricity or anything we've done in the past. And then I saw here Demesis Abbas, the deepest mind at DeepMind, saying the difference here with artificial intelligence is it's going to be 10 times bigger than the Industrial Revolution, maybe 10 times faster. This is not like something we've done before. This is substantially bigger than anything we've done before. We all need to spin the clock back, if you happen to be my age, and think of it like this. This is your chance to be in front of the global adoption of computerization. This is your chance to be in front of the global adoption of the internet. This is our chance to be in front of and to provoke, in some small way, that which is destined to occur, the global adoption of artificial intelligence, not just among sophisticated marketers, but among all of planet Earth, similar to the experience with computerization and with the internet's mandate, global mandate. LEV AI, remember that's the name of the company, LEV AI, that's a company. The concept is to leverage artificial intelligence, bringing it to the homes of everyone on planet Earth. As they use computers and as they use the internet, they will use AI. And LEV AI makes it simple for entrepreneurs to launch, market, and grow businesses. This company provides solutions to challenges. Today, there is this groundswell, this chatter, this conversation. If you want to see how strong it is, just dive in. And you'll find out that it would be impossible to swim upstream against it. It is a powerful current of people talking about, discussing. Is it good? Is it bad? Will it help me? Does it hurt me? Conversations ongoing are easy to enter. Conversations that we must provoke are not right for the time. Conversations that are ongoing, those are right for the time. And the conversations go something like this. I know it's cool. I know it's neat, but I've got this application for my CRM solution. I've got this application to grow my social media presence. I've got this application to manage my website, and on it goes. And each of these applications have corresponding subscriptions and costs. LEV AI solves those problems, all of those problems, solved in one really simple yet elegant solution. LEV AI makes building and maintaining a candidate or customer list far easier. Nothing is more important to any small business owner than having a steady flow of new users of their service or buyers of their product. Creates confidence about what to say throughout the engagement process, and that creation of confidence removes the barriers that cause people to feel stuck. My observation is not that I've never met a single person who has done all that which is required to succeed but done it poorly and therefore failed. I've never encountered it. What I have observed instead are the countless thousands of people I have met who were just stuck. They just didn't do that which was required to succeed. I've wondered over my career why that was so. It's become clear to me now. If one can find a way to remove the fear of failure, and what is the failure? To remove the fear. To remove the fear that is coincident with going from the reactive environment of being an employee, doing what the job requires, to the proactive decision making that is required of an entrepreneur. Not doing what we're told to do, but doing what we perceive, what our intuition tells us is correct to do to make our business grow. That removes the fear of failure. That causes people to no longer be stuck. And it allows us the ability to go forward when we can help a person make more easy, make simpler this movement of thought and process from reactivity to proactivity. That's what LEV AI is all about. One thing that's become very evident to me and likely to you is that one can measure future results by considering current influence. The degree of influence we have is going to determine the amount of impact that we make. So one can measure future results by measuring current influence, and one can measure current influence by measuring one's online presence. And you'll find out immediately, you will discover immediately upon utilizing the LEV AI solution basket that your social media presence will begin to grow. It will grow almost in spite of you, and you'll understand how as we go forward. CRM, customer relationship management. I believe that for many people, there will be a zero or a less than zero cost of utilizing our suite of services. Why? Because your current CRM, if you're using a customer relationship management tool, you're in all likelihood paying more for just that tool than you would pay for our entire suite of services. And the tool you currently use does not do some of the most important things. See, I discovered earlier in my career that if I'm trying to provoke the conversation, if I'm trying to guide the person into a behavior that I want them to do for my benefit, that's folly, it's short-sighted thinking, it's not going to go anywhere. If, on the other hand, we can ascertain that which is most important to our contact and then help him or her accomplish that which they seek to accomplish, then the lid comes off of our own results. Immediately upon importing a candidate, a contact into the CRM and our suite of services, you'll begin receiving from your artificial intelligence solutions screening and profiling, telling you about each individual. What do they want? Why do they want it? How urgent is that need? So we can interact with each one based upon what they want, not based upon what we want. I love the fact that we can eliminate the cost of building and maintaining websites. That becomes a part of your solution. The daily reminders to build our business. I contemplate the great people who've joined my own teams over the course of the last many years, and so many, for whatever reason, having had an appropriate onboarding process where they were given a series of activities which would create success, it seems like they treated it more like a buffet line. I'll try some of that, but I'm going to pass on this. I'll try some of that. I'm going to pass on this. It doesn't work. I imagine the advantage had I been able to be side by side with each of those people in their first 30 days, in their first 365 days, gently guiding them back to the correct pattern of activities. That becomes the reality for every one of your new team members as a result of the LEV AI solution. And then I think it is of unbelievable importance to recognize that this transition from the reactivity of employment to the proactivity of entrepreneurship, that I think is what causes more people to be stuck. Remember, Cicero said so many years ago, the skill to do comes from the doing, but if we don't do, we don't develop the skill. If we do, we develop the skill, which creates more poise and more self-confidence. Before long, we have emerged and become a leader. When one becomes a leader, that will by definition cause others to be drawn to him or her. Leaders don't have to look for candidates, they're always available. It is those who are in the process of gaining leadership status that need this bridge. The monthly lead program is an incredible bridge. I've been hesitant to utilize leads over the course of my career simply because I'm aware that if someone pays money for a contact, a lead, and it doesn't produce what they hoped, then they may be resentful. But what if there was no added cost? What if it was simply a part of the service? Then there would be no negative to it, only good. And that I think is what you'll find throughout the LEV AI suite of services, the LEV AI solution. Everything is good. The parts that will be most impactful to you depend on you. And we've covered each of these. We're going to move right on past this. And here we come to where the real visible magic occurs. Each of us will have our own AI video version of ourselves. Every plan includes your own avatar that looks like you, acts like you, has your mannerisms, sounds like you. Or if you choose, you can choose an avatar from the library. In my own case, I want it to literally be me in absentia. That's what I'm looking for. And I take comfort from the fact that I can give it any script, or I can allow my own personalized GPT to create that script for me. You say a personalized GPT? Yeah. Recognize that 700 million people logged onto Chat GPT this past week. They were looking for answers and they were looking for solutions. ChatGPT scanned the internet and it gave them good answers and it gave them good solutions. It didn't give them perfect answers or perfect solutions. Why? Because the information that it gathered from the internet was by definition generic. It was not specific to the user's project or comp plan or culture or process. Here, the effects, the learning to leverage artificial intelligence, learning to have the profound dramatic breakthroughs that are possible. You see, any tool is just that, as a tool. The person who operates the tool, who uses the tool, will have a lot to do with the effectiveness thereof. We can give that tool a generic script, but what if we give it a personalized script? That'd be a higher and greater use of the tool. And unlike you or unlike me, your digital twin can speak fluently in 150 languages. Now, very, very shortly, you'll be able to upload your own just as you see Larry Lane uploaded his photo. You can also choose, if you prefer, one from the library. Your choice, your call. My video avatar, my digital me will look just like me. So you can upload your photo and then you can give it a script. And how would you give it a script? Well, you could do it by uploading all of your content. If you're a content provider, simply send the transcripts through of all of the YouTube videos you got published, of all of those things on Vimeo that have been out there circulating forever, of your content, your words. Load it up with all that information. You can also pick other thought leaders' information to load into your digital twin. You can pick the voice. It can be yours. It can be another voice if you prefer. You get to set the emotion, the tone. Folks, this is not a modest change in your ability to produce. What LEV AI seeks to do is take all that you are, to package all that you are, and to present it in the most positive fashion all around the world in every language. Now, I do wish right now that I could push play and show you my friend Larry speaking in Hindi. I cannot, but I assure you that my friends in India who listened said, he sounds like he's an Indian. And here are the features and pricings, folks. There is a $19 registration fee that is a recurring annual fee. Then one will spend $49 or $99 to receive the most remarkable group of goods and services. I cannot imagine anything remotely close to this value. And by the way, that $49.99 is an ongoing monthly subscription. My AI video, your likeness, your voice, speaking your script flawlessly in dozens of languages, and you can even use your personalized GPT to create the script. My AI Social, this is your AI writing assistant to create engagement. Business profiles, in case you have more than one message to deliver, you can have multiple profiles. Social media growth and engagement. Remember, your influence goes up with your social media presence growth. Therefore, your future market value can be determined by having a pattern of activities that grows your social media exposure and profile. That will begin happening immediately with your LEV AI solution. CRM with screenshot import and AI-powered profile enrichment. This telling you what your candidate wants to talk about, when they want to talk about it, and why. Instant web builder, eliminating that cost, and enhanced CRM with professional lead funnels, guiding each candidate to his or her point of logical conclusion in the shortest possible period of time, and over 2 billion searchable prospects. And now, folks, really and truly, no kidding, bang the gong and ring the bell. A fully interactive AR avatar available to almost all, maybe not to the very most, the earliest, maybe not to a person who's not enrolled their first person. I'm not sure if there will be a threshold. Originally, it was intended to only make the conversational interactive avatars available at the highest level of the comp plan. A decision was made, and I think it was the right decision to broaden that playing field, to make the value proposition so obvious that literally everyone who understands it has to say yes. And also, I think the fact of having the interactive avatar will result in having more people become creators of their own content, because this puts such a tremendous spotlight on it and adds value so quickly. And here are the unmatched values. With LEV AI, we believe that you will be replacing at least $315 per month in ongoing costs to try to meet these basic needs of artificial intelligence. And you'll be able to do that for less than a third as much money. Truly, and no kidding, unmatched value. You cannot acquire much of what this company sells someplace else, even if you want to, and trying to bring it together into one market basket simply doesn't exist. And so what exactly is the market opportunity? I think it's hard for most people. It was hard for me at the outset to quantify, because I've always dealt with products or services that would impact only a small segment of society. If this home I'm in, we're blessed, we live in a large home. If this home I'm in is the overall market, the global market for goods and services, I've never had anything to deliver that was more than this little tiny circle of this whole market. And so how big can it be if suddenly we have 8 billion people on planet Earth who will all be compelled to adopt artificial intelligence? And I mean all. I contemplate, who are the people on planet Earth who use the internet? Well, isn't it almost everybody? I have an 8-year-old, and my 8-year-old, he uses the internet a lot, more than I like sometimes. Um, who among this global population are computerized? Well, it's everybody, folks. That's the same percentage of people who will use AI. So how big is the opportunity for those who become a conduit to other people's use? There is simply no question. It is dramatically bigger than any chance any of us have ever had in our lives. If we will not have the choice as to whether or not we personally use, we are going to use. The question is, will we also be a conduit to other people's use? If we become a conduit to other people's use, then of course you get compensated for that. Whenever you introduce a new person to the project and they say, yes, that's the package I want, you'll be paid an acquisition bonus of 50% in the very first month. On a monthly basis, as they continue to use their subscription, for anyone you personally brought into the party, you'll earn 20%. And in addition to that, there is a 7 further generation unilevel payout beyond that 20% you get paid for your personal introductions, a 8 generation unilevel that pays 4%. And please notice that this is of cash. This is of cash, folks. There is no artificial dilution of dollar into the company to PV or CV. And so for those who are accustomed to building teams, we build a simple 8 generation unilevel with a 4% infinity payout beneath it, with a check match, and with acquisition bonus. The simplest compensation plan you will ever describe. Acquisition bonus, person acquires the product, you get paid. Unilevel, a simple 8 generation block of volume. We recognize that when something is red hot, and this is, folks, red hot. 27,000 members in the last 25 days have embraced this idea with not a dollar in advertising. When something is that red hot, then there will be a proliferation of people who need leadership that demands an infinity payout such that true leadership works not just through an identifiable block of volume, but indefinitely until new leadership is established. And then the check match, the ability to get paid when other people earn. This is unique to the company because all check match is based upon, because the check match is based on all comp plan components. Someone that you have enrolled earns a acquisition bonus and you get a matching bonus. If that happens on your fourth generation, same thing, 1, 2, 3, and 4, you'll get a matching bonus. Someone earns a team commission in the unilevel, you'll get a matching bonus. Someone earns an infinity commission, you'll get a matching bonus. Now, these launch updates, these are Blake's slides from last Wednesday. And I've not seen the formal announcement, but I believe that the next corporate updates are again Wednesday of this week. I am not speaking from authority now. I am simply recapping and believing that the things I'm telling you remain accurate after 1 week, and that I'm not misstating anything. The LEV AI app, we all are accustomed to app-based computing. Final testing and design is underway. I have been told that we can anticipate the app going live, if not at the date of our actual opening, within the next day or two thereafter, and I'm believing at the date. The LEV AI back office is absolutely a thing of beauty. The reporting features are fantastic. I have had an opportunity to review much of what is in the back office, and you will all be very, very pleased. By the way, this is not something that is farmed out to another. This is not a pick and plug module back office that is being bought from a company like Exego or similar. This is our own code. The LEV AI back office has been written for the LEV AI. The LEV AI code has been written for the LEV AI office. You'll have the ability to place your personally enrolled partners right before the launch. And of course, we now believe that that's about a week away. Today is the 8th. My opinion, this is my opinion, this is not a statement of fact. My opinion is that this company is launching a week today. That is my opinion. Sometime a day or two before that, you'll have the opportunity to take all of those people that you've been personally enrolling and place them appropriately in your organization. Multi-language support is available on the website and in the back office right now. 10 languages currently, with more to come. Multi-language support, as I've described, will be available in just about every language in the world utilizing AI, and will immediately be available in many markets with personalized language support. Once again, all of this coming together very, very quickly. Whenever there are opportunities, there are also challenges. We're introducing a concept that has tremendous, tremendous impact literally all over the world. It is not reality to believe that a company could launch everywhere in the world all at once and not have some challenges that we can anticipate. Credit card processing on a global scale coming out of the gate before local banking relationships have been made, before long-standing inputs or footprints have been made in the market, can be confusing and complicated. PayPal is supported globally, and we encourage all who are outside of the United States of America, irrespective of what other pay in and out solutions may be available, we encourage all to log into PayPal and select your linked payment method. This will assure that we have as few frustrations as we possibly can in the earliest weeks and the earliest months as we establish those footprints in markets globally. Please follow LEV AI on all social media networks. This company is doing a great job already. It will step it up significantly in the next couple of weeks when we're formally open. The sizzle video is live right now. Please go to youtube.com and then put in /@GetLevAIHQ. People have asked me many times in just the last 2 days, I've had 4 messages from people saying, Randy, what would be the appropriate video as a first look, as their first introduction? That is what this was created for. It is the sizzle video, which is available right now. Now, I said in the very beginning that I would describe the ownership of the company and describe the how and why, that while we are at the absolute genesis, we don't have the risks associated with that. And here's why. The service provider and the owner, LeCore Enterprises, is the global service provider for LEV AI. This rapid deployment is possible due to LeCore Enterprise decades of channel experience and history of innovation, LeCore payment technologies, access to leading back office, commissions and operating history, hundreds of years of collective team experience, and over 25 years of individual history, $7 billion in revenue. I can tell you that our opportunity simply does not have the risks that are typically a part of this type of positioning because of the ownership relationship that Terry LaCour has, and because LaCour Enterprises is the global service provider. And so my question for everybody is, are you ready to lead the AI future with LEV AI, recognizing that we will all be compelled to participate? That's not a choice. We will all be compelled to participate. The global adoption of AI is upon us. The question is only, will we be a conduit to other people's use? Now, note that it says LEV AI will officially launch in 2 to 3 weeks. This was a week ago. LEV AI will officially launch in 1 to 2 weeks, is what that could now say. And I will again state my belief. I believe that 1 week from today will be go date. Now, we're going to find out when Blake does his corporate presentation on Wednesday. But as of this moment, I have confidence in that timeline. My question then for you, for me, for all is, are you ready to lead the future with LEV AI? And if so, please join us. Join us in this thought that we seek to create the finest leadership structure in the history of the micro enterprise or home-based business world. Now take it further. We seek to create the single finest leadership structure in micro enterprise, generally speaking, irrespective of method of distribution. Let me take it one more step. We seek to create the finest leadership structure that has ever been developed in small business entrepreneurship. If you are ready to be a part of the foundation upon which others build for decades in the future, now is your moment. If you are one who would like to create the wave that others catch in the future, now is your moment. Please notify whomever invited you here that you would like to receive the online application. There is no cost associated with that until we launch. Again, I believe that's in a week. We'll find out on Wednesday. Again, this slide is now a week old. We'll find out exact date, I believe, on Wednesday. Please let whomever invited you here know that you'd like to receive the online registration form. And please, please, please also receive the WhatsApp link, because that WhatsApp link will allow you to be in constant communication with us, and you'll not miss any announcements. You'll not miss any important events. I do want to encourage you all to participate in this evening's business presentation. Scotty Merker will present the business for the first time. He is a skilled, talented, highly knowledgeable person. And I know that many of you, your contacts, you've heard a lot from me over the last month. Now we're beginning broadening it out as we create a leadership foundation. And you'll see a part of that beginning. You saw part of it last night with Scotty Cufus. Tonight, you'll get introduced to a gentleman named Scott Merker. This is a magic moment. I cannot wait to introduce you on the main stage. God bless you all. Have the best day yet, and we'll see you along the way.